Hi everybody, Bill Dusty here with another video. And today we're going to take a look at a little old tech, low tech here. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby the other day. It is the H1 series Spirit of St. Louis rubber band powered little glider. And of course this is for kids, but you know, when I was a kid we used to fly these things all the time. And I remember we had a really good time with them. And so I figured I'd pick this up and maybe we just put it together, and we'd find out how it flies. So in this video, this is going to be kind of a short one, I guess. I'm going to put it together. I'm not going to go through all the steps, but we'll take it out of the box and we'll put it together, and then we'll take it for a test flight. That's not going to be today for me because it's raining out and there's a lot of snow melt and it's really kind of miserable out there. But we will get a flight in the next few days, and then I'm just going to add it into this video so you guys aren't going to notice the difference. It'll be a part of this video. So for now, let's take a look at the box and see what we got here, and then we'll open her up and start putting it together. So to begin, as you can see, the rubber band goes right through the little center piece here. It is, you know, it's a balsa wood plane, so it's just a little thin piece of balsa wood and all that happy stuff. And it does have the measurements here in millimeters. I can't do conversions in my head, so we'll be using this when we get it out. And here's the pieces right here. It comes with a full set of assembling parts, a detailed instruction booklet, and 2 spare rubber bands, that's pretty cool. So you got 3 rubber bands total. And then it says down here there's no glue or tools required. Blah blah blah. It's made by Lyonaeec, and this is the H1 series plane. And if we turn around and look on the back, we see that there are 4 in the series. We have the H1 Spirit of St. Louis. We have the H2 L Vega. I have no idea what that is. Looks like a racer though. Then we have the Supermarine Spitfire, which is a World War II British fighter plane, an excellent fighter plane. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have the P-51 Mustang, which is also a World War II era fighter plane, and it is one of my favorite planes ever from the war. But none of these were available at the Hobby Lobby. They only had this one, so I grabbed this one. And down below that, we see that they give you flying tips here, long distance flight, high altitude flight, and then they call this flight in hover, but it's like it's circling around really, it's not hovering. It says detailed instructions inside. I'm not really sure how it's going to be. From the box it's hard to tell whether you can move the ailerons or anything to make it do all these things, but it looks like there's creases right there, so you might be able to. But we're going to find out, and here it does look like it too. So we're going to find out. So with that, that's about it for the box, and let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got inside. Okay, so that was easy enough. We have all the wing parts. We got the rudder, the elevator assembly, and the main wing, of course. And it does look like, now that we're in here, that you can crimp these ailerons here and the rudder as well and make them do things. So that should be pretty cool. And we have the instructions here. And with these kinds of planes, it's pretty much all you need. So we're going to put this up top here, and we'll open up this little package. And I'm not going to bore you with you know, a narrated step-by-step of assembling this thing. It's got to be an easier way. But I'll just do a speeded up visual. There we go. Here's the fuselage with the extra rubber bands, which okay. It looks like you tie them to the back because they're not complete rubber bands. So you do tie them on the back. As you can see here, they get them tucked right into the plastic, these plastic little grips here. So that's how that works. And as you can see, the rear, the tail wheel is just a piece of plastic. It doesn't, oh, I guess it does move. I didn't think it moved, but it does. But I wouldn't count on it. It's kind of a hard turn. And this is like a cardboard. It's not actually balsa wood. Oh, maybe it is. I guess it is balsa wood on the inside, but paper on the outside. So it has the feel of like a thin cardboard. So that's that. And then these are definitely styrofoam. So there's our propeller. Only one propeller though. So don't break it. And dump all this out here. And let me look at the instructions real quick here. This is going to secure the wing to the fuselage. So that's that. That goes there, and of course we have the wheel struts. And there's these guys, nice and light plastic, typical, you know, balsa wood plain wheels. Okay, so there this goes. And like I said, I'm going to put this together, but I'm not going to bore you with the normal speed assembly. We'll just run through it, and then I'll show you the model after it's all complete. Okay, so this is it assembled. Okay, a couple of notes real quick. This landing gear here is the last thing I put together. You want to make sure you have the wire for the gear in this little notch here, and then you fold that in. That was easy enough. That wasn't really a problem. Okay, and then here I noticed as I was finishing up, it is a little off kilter, the main wing, but there's no way to adjust it. That's the way it fits because that's the way this is, the canter here, and that's pretty much the way it is. And you know, I mean, you get what you pay for, and here it is. Hopefully it won't affect the flight too much. But there this is. I also noticed that the stickers that come with this, these right here, they appear to be just a general stickers for all four in the series. They don't really seem to have any particular model in mind for these stickers. And there's even, looks like there's one left over that is not in the instructions anywhere that I can see. Okay, and they don't fit perfectly. I had to cut the rear tape here on the bottom because it was too long, and then these two side adhesives didn't really match up particularly well with the form, but good enough. They secured it. I mean, you could just as easily use Scotch tape. You don't really need to use the stickers that came with this, because that's all this really is a Scotch-like adhesive tape. And for you millennials who have no idea how these things work, all you really do is you just you spin up the rubber band in there, and once it's nice and taut, you just point it towards the wind and launch it on its way. And we'll be doing that in the next cut of this video. And for me, it's going to be perhaps a few days from now, but for you, it'll be the next scene. So I'll talk to you on the other side. Okay, so here we are with the Spirit of St. Louis. And what we're going to do is we're going to wind it up and fly it outside here. I'm going to try a couple of the flap settings here to see what kind of trick flights we get or anything like that. But otherwise, we're just going to see if this baby can fly. And it should do okay. There's a very light breeze. Not very perceptible. However, I was flying my my Sky Hunter drone out here, and it did affect it a little higher up a little bit. as far as putting some drag on it. So we'll see how this flies. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to wind this baby up by counterclockwise. We're wrapping it up. And I'm not going to do it too much here. We'll just, that's good enough right now. I just want to see if this baby can actually get in the air. We'll try it just like this. Everything's at neutral for the ailerons and the flaps and all that. So here we go. And that was interesting. Apparently neutral is not the way to go. But we'll give it another go. I'm going to try wrapping it a little more, giving it a little more throttle. Okay, and this time I'm just going to toss it up there with a little more determination. Huh. Seems like it wants to do a loop-de-loop, so check the elevators back here. Bring them down a little bit. Stop that from happening. Alright. And I'm going to leave the ailerons alone. Alright, let's try that again. I thought I was flying into the wind. I didn't really mention it, but the wind is coming up from towards that soccer goalie thing there. And I thought maybe just tossing it in the wind would be good enough, but I've been in this field before, and the wind does kind of swirl because of these trees here, I'm guessing. Maybe this tree line here. But I'm going to give it another whirl. We'll just, again, the wind is not really that perceptible, so I don't think it's really the breeze that is contributing to this thing not flying too well. Okay, so let's try it again. A little breeze coming up now, but I'm going to toss it right into it, and we'll see what happens. Huh. A little too much elevator. There's got to be a happy in between. This is getting boring really fast. Not as fun as when you were a kid, I can tell you that. Alright, I put the elevators up a little bit. Tried it when they were neutral and it wanted to do the loop-de-loop. So we'll try it a little less. Alright. And the wind is actually picked up a little bit. But we'll give it a shot. It just seems like it's not high enough. It wants to recover, but it doesn't have enough room. And there's really doesn't seem to be any happy medium for the elevator. So I'm going to try. Let's see. I'm going to try putting them up neutral, and then trying the ailerons. Even though you're not. These are supposed to be the opposite way for the true aileron effect, but I just want to see if I can get it to fly straight, you know? Alright, here you go. At it again. It is durable. I mean, I could do this 100 times and nothing would happen to it. Here we go. There we go. Ah, well, it made it. Okay, seems to be proper settings. Now let me really wrap this baby up. We'll go full throttle. See what we can get out of this thing. Okay. And here we go. Oh, it almost came back towards me. Well, that's about it for that. And honestly, I think I'll try it one more time with the rudder turned and maybe a little aileron action here. And then we'll call it quits, because I think the combination of this thing's lack of flight ability combined with the breeze here is making this decidedly unfun. my conclusion thus far is this is great fun for kids, and boy, did I sure have a blast when I was a kid with these things, but as an adult, not so much. I'll take RC any day. Okay, we got it all wrapped up. One more time, I get the ailerons. It's down here, a little up here. Got the rudder a little bit here, not too much. We'll give her a go. Alright, well, you know, there it is. I guess if you threw it off a cliff, that would be pretty cool. But it actually didn't fly that bad. It did what I thought it would do, which is cool. But that's that. NX211. Okay guys, so this was my little experiment with the Lyonaeec Spirit of St. Louis NX211 rubber band flyer. And I can tell you in this case, reality has definitely smacked childhood memories in the face. Because this thing was not, this was not a fun experience. It's not like I remembered as a child. Honestly, when you're a kid and and you got nothing else and you get these things, you think they're great and they fly around like it's magic or something. And I still have memories of having much better luck with these rubber band airplanes than I did have with this particular one. So maybe if I had bought another brand or something, I don't know. But this one was pretty much no good from the first flight. And looking at it here, you could possibly say, well, it's not built properly, but there's really nothing I could do with this. As you can see in the bottom here, it's all built in with the plastic, and even though I tried to straighten it out, it just goes back to the way it is, and it's pre-folded and all that. So, I mean, you can only do so much with this. And it did not turn out the way I thought it would turn out. I wanted to be able to demonstrate that, basic aerodynamics pretty much wins out regardless of the mode of thrust or propellant, whatever the motor may be. But that just didn't work out. I think what the deal is with this is there was just way too much thrust to begin with. And no matter whether I tried to throw it out purposefully or if I just gently let it go aloft, the fact of the matter is it's got about 2 or 3 seconds of thrust with this propeller here. After that, it's a glider, and it's a glider with a very top-heavy center of gravity. The center of gravity in a plane should be about here, and it's really up front here. So once this thing runs its course, it's going down. Generally speaking, you're supposed to take these things and just let them go and let the motor do the work here, the rubber band thing do the work. And I gotta tell you, I was disappointed. And if you're thinking of getting one of these for your little kid, as like some kind of starter thing or something, this may disappoint them, because I tried to do different things to get it to work. I tried the ailerons, and I tried the flaps, and get the rudder to do a little circle pattern, and nothing really seemed to work with this. It was pretty much a stunted flight no matter what I tried to do. And actually, I built this little paper airplane in like 20 minutes. And all it is just it's an index card, and I just cut it out to where the aerodynamics are pretty good. And this actually was more dependable flight-wise than this was. So, and you get the accomplishment of actually having built this. So, but I will say this in closing. I don't want to run too long here. If you're gonna buy a little plane, thinking you're gonna buy something for a child who's just starting out and you want to build their confidence, you might be better off, instead of getting this because you think it's basic and it's got the motor and all that, instead of getting this, get them a little a toy drone that has altitude hold on it. And I'm going to bring one of those over real briefly here. I got the controller for it here. I'm going to have to run out and get it. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I got this Neo drone at Best Buy for $25. Here's the controller. Protocol makes it. Here's it's a good controller. It's got a auto lock feature. It's got auto altitude hold, and this is something. It's very well built. It's got a self-contained battery in there, on-off switch. Okay, and you charge it up, and a little kid can fly this around. It's got altitude hold, like I said. You still got to control it left, right, forward, and back. But this is something that a child can experiment with and get to learn how to fly before he or she goes into like RC planes or something. So I would recommend something like this, which is $25. This was it was $7 and change, and this is not good. And that'll about wrap it up for this little review of the Lyonaeec Spirit of St. Louis rubber band powered airplane. Can't recommend it, folks. Leave it in the store and get yourself a little toy drone instead. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and I'll talk to you in the next video.